Hello, hello. Welcome back. Today we're talking about how to get out of a funk and back to joy. Like when you've just been feeling so hopeless and sad and crying all the time and it's going through something that you don't know what it is or why you're sad or why the whole world seems to be falling apart in your life. And it's like everything outside looks like you should be happy, but you're not. And this is something that I just went through, and so I can totally feel your situation. And I'm here to just offer some advice to you guys who are going through this, and just give some sisterly advice and to let you know everything will be okay. And you know just the little steps that I went through that got me through it, and like how it was like, and just so you don't feel so alone. Because I know all of us go through this, but we don't usually share it or no one talks about it. So we always feel like we're the only ones going through something, when that is not the case. So, if you're new here, my name is Amanda, and here we talk everything about self improvement and to become the best version of ourselves, our own dream girl. Because why not? That's why we were born here, right? To learn and grow and to become all that God made us to be. So, this will be a little bit of a story time video in a sense. I won't make it long at all, don't worry. And you'll see yourself in the story, so I think you'll find it helpful. And then I'll get into, breaking it down and what to do to move forward. And I also will have a really, really good lesson on diet and how that actually affects a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things. And some really, it kind of seems like secret tips because nobody knows about it, but it's not a secret. I'm going to be sharing everything with you guys. So definitely stick around till the end. So if I'm looking down, it's because of my notes. And yeah, so let's get started. So for the past month, since mid-February, so it was a little bit over a month, I guess, or about a month, I'd say. I was feeling, something happened, and it just felt like I went back to who I was 2 or 3 years ago, before I had made all the changes in my life, and was actually feeling like I was actually, blooming and, becoming vibrant and just becoming love, becoming who I was meant to be instead of being so closed off to the world and insecure and everything. So it was just really weird because whatever had happened put me right back into the state that I had been in when I was 15, 16, 17, all of those years. And it was really bad. And I know part of why it was happening, with the change that had happened in my life, and the whole schedule getting reordered and everything. You guys can see my last video on that that I had made of when I was going through that process. And yeah, it was for some reason the past month I've just been going through this really rough patch for some reason. I don't know exactly what it was. I still don't know, because it was just such a depth of despair and just crying. I was crying every day, in my room, alone. And I didn't really want anybody to know because I had no reason to be sad, right? And I have everything. I mean, a family, health, living in the best country in the world, food, water, everything outside looked perfect, but everything on the inside was not. And I think a lot of us can feel that way. And to this day, I'm not exactly sure what it was. I mean, I had my friend she's a lot older than me, and I wasn't complaining to her because I don't feel we should ever, complain or vent towards other people. But it's been something that she had gone through in the past, and she could kind of, just give me some encouragement, because we kept doing, our daily Bible studies together and everything, just texting each other back and forth. And, she said something really powerful. I'm going to read a little bit of what she had written to me. She was saying that, talking about herself, that she had been through that, like, months of crying and despairing of ever getting better and just feeling hopelessness and all of that. And even though there was no reason, like, we have everything, right? But she just said, remember, it's not you. Just remember, it's not you. It's a spirit, because we do live in a spirit world too. And I know that sounds lulu to some of you guys, but it is a real thing. It's even more real than the physical world that we live in. There is a spirit world, so sometimes it's not just you. It's because there's a spirit world. So you can have all the mindset stuff right, and something can still, hang over you. She said, just remember, it's not you, it's a spirit. And once you can recognize that, you can move forward with, your war strategy. And it could be small steps of healing or a great victory won on a single prayer. But God doesn't let you go through the trials for no reason. He weaves a breathtaking tapestry out of solemn and dark threads, as well as bright and golden ones. Shadows give us depths of perception. It adds dimension and perspective. And all is well, Amanda, or put in your name, all is well. Not our definition of it, but God's. And then she gave me the verse, Jeremiah 29:11-14. So just remember that whether it's a small trial or depths of despair, that it will pass. Time keeps moving. And don't rush. That was another thing she told me. Don't rush. And I know, like, none of these things really sunk into me at the time. Now it seems totally different now that I'm out of it. She said, don't rush. Just, like, soak it in and learn the things that the trial is trying to teach you. To just be joyful in every situation. Like how, like, Paul and Silas, when they were in the prison, they were, in the middle of the night, they were singing hymns to God. And that's when the angels broke their chains and they were free, right? They were praising God even in a terrible situation when they had just gotten flogged and were probably horribly hurting and in so much pain and probably a lot of despair, I would think. And yet they could still praise God. And that's how God knew that, they trusted him, right? And it's the same for us. We go through these things for us to show God that we trust him. Because this is the only place where we can show God that we trust him. Once, we die and once God shows himself to the whole world, you won't need to have faith or trust because obviously you can see him. So this is the only time where we can prove it. And I think that's really special. And, don't rush. Just be with yourself through the process. Don't be rushing. It's a very interesting concept, which sounds so counterintuitive, but it's just a place for us to work on our praise and our worship, because worship isn't just something you do when you're happy. That's praise. Worship is something you do when you don't feel like it. And once I learned that, I was like, wow. And, sometimes the only way out of a trial is through it. And that's sometimes not very fun, but we grow so much. And once we're at the end of our life, the things we have gone through, it won't even amount to like a smidgen of sadness compared to the joy that's ahead, like planned for you. And one thing I want to say is just feel it. Be with yourself through the process. Like when I was crying every day, I was just noticing, like looking at myself through a third party, that I'm just like sitting on the edge of my bed, just like crying, like for days, or just being completely like in a down mood throughout the day, and just noticing that and just being with myself and noticing that I'm being kind of not as happy, and like definitely not as happy, like kind of grumpy and irritated and frustrated with life, and then kind of taking that out on everybody else, mostly family. Like when I'd go to work or everything, you put on your chipper face and you get the thing done. But just feel it, cry. Don't hold yourself back from doing that. And pray. Just keep praying. And take care of yourself. What do you need to do to make yourself feel better? Like this is in my last video, that, do I need to be reading more? What was it that I was doing when I was happy before this whole situation changed? Was it that I took time for myself? Was it walks in nature that now I feel like I'm too busy to do? Like, what was it? Time with friends, you know? And have a friend that kind of like is your support partner and helps you through that. You know, find a trustworthy, good friend. And God has really blessed me with the most amazing friends in like the whole entire world, and the most amazing families that I'm around, and it's just amazing. But all you need is just one. So go find yourself that one person. And stay as positive as you can. Like, even through that whole time when things were rough, I was staying as positive as I could. Like, things weren't the best, but I wasn't completely being like a hellhole for my family either. So, you know, there was one thing I wanted to say here. Let me think. Oh, yes. It was the part where it was just like all of a sudden I knew that it was over. Like one day, I think it was like, I don't remember, either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And I just knew. I was crying because anytime the certain topic was brought up, it would just like make me, you know, sad, and like everything would just like come out again. For some reason, it was a trigger point for me, and I don't know why. And someone had like brought that thing up again, and they had like all gone to go get dinner, and I just like started crying in my room again, and it was like just crying and crying, and then all of a sudden, just at the end of that, I just knew it was over. I just knew it was over. It was this most strangest thing. And ever since that day, which was like a week or a little over a week ago, it's been over. And sometimes that's how it is with our trials. Like, whatever it is that we're going through, like those mind battle things, like spirits that hang over you, it's not necessarily you. You know, if you've been doing your mindset work and being spiritual and being close to God and like doing all the things right in your life, things like this can still happen, of course, right? Like Job. But you will get through it. And it'll just be over before you know it. And it's the most amazing thing. And I think that's, you know, I heard a saying once that we appreciate the light because of darkness. We appreciate good because there's evil. And we would never appreciate those things if there never was the other side. Like, we appreciate good weather because we know how horrible, like terrible weather can be, right? We appreciate health because we've been through sickness or we've seen sickness. And it's just that law of contrast. And it's the same with this. I think God shows us, you know, how much to appreciate the good times. And because we've been through the rougher times, right? So anyways, I just want you guys to know that sometimes it is just not you. So don't like be tearing yourself up that I'm not praying enough, I'm not being good enough. Like, no, it's not any of those things sometimes, like at all. It's just something to go through. And there's another thing I want to add to this that was something I was doing to myself that was totally not helping me, and that I completely turned around. And it was diet. I'd completely fallen off my diet because for some reason I'd gotten the concept of I deserve it because like I'm working so hard, so I deserve a candy bar, like it's okay. And it's because I had heard some other people talking like that, and somehow I'd gotten that concept from them. I don't know where or why. I mean, that's so entitled. Like, I'm not deserving or entitled to anything. And so I was like having like the little candy bars at the job every day, or all of these weird stuff, or a granola bar, things that I know I should not be eating because of a certain health condition I have, which I'll share in the next video. And I have shared about this before in my carnivore diet videos and stuff, where I was completely not sticking to my diet, and I was feeling super fat and bloated and tired and even more lethargic because of that. So this is a super interesting point that I want to share with you guys in the next video. Otherwise, this one will be too long. But it's a crazy, amazing, like turnaround. Like within 2 days or 1 day, you will completely notice the difference. And I know I totally did. And yeah, I will share it in the next video because it's a super crazy story of what happened, of this whole huge blow up with my health and how I resolved it. So you definitely want to stick around for that one, especially if you guys are high achievers and already have like some autoimmune condition going on, or like joint problems, or all of those things. Even if you're young and you're going through that, this is the video, or that will be the video for you. So that's it for this one. I just wanted to like share this with you guys, and that's why I haven't really been on YouTube since, because like for the last month, because I kind of felt like a hypocrite if I was talking about self-development stuff and being happy when I was not. And so praise God, I'm through that, and hopefully this helped you guys. And if you want to go deeper, definitely check out my course, my inner work course called Divinely Favored. It's below. It is absolutely amazing. It's everything that took me out of, being in the funk that I was in when I was like 15, 16, 17, like all through my teenage years, until I found all of these things that I had learned through self-development to, get my self-esteem and be confident and happy and just know what I want out of life and be able to go get it. And I want that for all of you guys as well. So definitely go check that out. And I also offer health coaching if you guys want that, to get into the body of your dreams. And just email me about that. You can do that by accessing the free play sheet below. It's a super amazing thing of affirmations that I say to myself every day. And it's completely changed my life, and I know it will change yours. And that's where you'll get my email, by signing up for that. So anyways, I'll see you in the next one. So bye.